What if I told you that the biggest layoffs in America right now between Amazon, UPS, even big tech aren't the end of jobs, but the start of an economic reset? While tens of thousands are getting pink slipped, Apple, IBM, TSMC, and a handful of trillion-dollar titans are pouring more than $1 trillion back into the United States. The question is, why are we losing jobs and gaining AI? Stick around. You just might learn something. So UPS, Amazon, Microsoft, FedEx, and others are cutting thousands of jobs. You can see right here, UPS is cutting 48,000 positions, automations, and a slower demand. Amazon is cutting 14,000 corporate roles. Microsoft, Google, and Meta announcing multi-thousand cuts while spending billions on AI infrastructure. These companies aren't failing, they're restructuring for AI efficiency. So while the layoffs make a lot of headlines and a lot of talking points for the media and talking bad about the Trump administration, this is a revolution behind closed doors. So why are companies replacing human labor with automation? Automation handles repetitive work, warehouse, sorting, logistics, customer service. AI-powered logistics, robotics, reduce human error. Guys, you know, we're sloppy. We come in sick, we mess up, we drop shit, we cut our arms, we get hurt at work. There's a lot of slew of things that humans do that AI aren't gonna happen, that AI doesn't do. Companies are redirecting their funds from payroll to AI infrastructure and research and development. The old jobs aren't just vanishing, they're being recoded into new roles. AI operators, robotic techs, data engineers, just to name a few. And this is the way the United States and the economy is going to go. The infrastructure that we have right here in the United States is going to be with AI systems and high-tech manufacturing jobs that are going to be extremely important for the times to come. What people don't understand is automation is the way things are going to go. And if we don't have automation right now in the United States, we're going to be missing out a great deal on the production and the things right now that are moving us into the 22nd century. Right now, the AI movement is going to be bigger and better than the dot-com of 1990s. It just is. It's going to happen quicker, it's going to happen more efficiently, and it's going to take over a large segment of manufacturing in the United States. And just by looking at a staffing model, you'll be able to see just how these jobs are happening. Right now, we got logistics, okay? Before automation, we had 3.2 million workers in automation. After automation, it's 2.4 million workers, a change of 25%. Automation hits logistics the absolute hardest. Now, automation hits logistics the hardest because AI-driven routing, autonomous forklifts, warehouse robotics, and driver optimization software have replaced entire job categories like loaders, dispatchers, warehouse clerks. UPS's 2025 layoffs of 48,000 jobs are a direct reflection of this shift. You got retail. Before that, we had 5.8 million people in retail. After that, you're gonna only have 5.1 million. That's a change of 12% of reduction. Self-checkout kiosks, you've all seen them. Every time you go to Walmart, you check yourself out. Inventory tracking AI. No, I remember when I worked as a stock clerk at public supermarkets. Inventory was hard to check. It was like eyes on. 25, 30 years later, it's all AI. They're gonna know exactly the products you have online, exactly when the orders are coming in, and they'll be able to predict exactly when it's gonna get refilled in an instant. No more checking graphs, no more going on a computer. It's gonna know exactly the time that you're gonna get that product in. So that's why it's moving in that type of direction. Tech, before, with Microsoft, Meta, and Google, 4.5 million. Before, after it, 4.8 million, a change of 7% growth. While big tech cuts administrative and middle management roles, AI development, cloud infrastructure, and cybersecurity created new technical jobs. So they're shifting from one section over to another. Essentially, white-collar automation is replacing old coding and marketing roles with prompt engineers, AI auditors, and data trainers. This is where things are moving, and it's going very quickly. So if people aren't getting reclassified in those job categories, they're gonna miss out a great deal on what's happening right now. You got manufacturing. Before it's 7 million, after manufacturing 6.3 million, a deduction of 10%. Why is this happening? You've got advanced robotics, AI production lines, have cut repetitive labor roles, things that people used to have to do over and over again, different people's shift work, that's all getting replaced with AI and robotics. But Newtel and Ohio are bringing back high-tech manufacturing jobs, fewer in numbers, but far higher in pay and skill level. The impact of all this, the U.S. manufacturing sector is leaner, but transitioning to a tech manufacturing powerhouse fueled by $1 trillion of investments. And the workforce change automation trend down 10%. Fewer workers, more technical labor. America isn't just losing jobs, guys. It is trading old ones for new, more technical roles. The issue is the skill gap. There's going to have to be retraining with manufacturers and workers that can hopefully transition quick enough into these higher, more fast-paced and more higher paid jobs. You guys got to understand, skilled labor is skilled labor. If you work with your hands, you work with your hands. Now, whether it's going to be more high-tech, more involved in things of maybe putting a bumper on a Chevy, this is where it's transitioning to. So the quicker somebody can get retrained and reclassified to a higher tech position on a skilled high-tech labor job, the more money you're going to make, because these are jobs that are going to be high skilled. So the days of a guy just putting a widget together, those are over. And more people and more manufacturing jobs are really coming to the United States in a tune of trillions of dollars. And this is where things are starting to move to and take a trend in that direction. You can just look at China's automation in their ports, and you can see exactly why it's such a big deal.
The port of Qingdao is a beacon of innovation in the maritime industry, establishing itself as one of the most advanced automated ports worldwide. Its transformation is driven by the revolutionary ATOS system, a technology that enhances efficiency and reliability in port operations.
These are where things are headed. Remember like last year when you had those dock workers that were on strike because they didn't want automation? I got news for those guys. They're getting replaced. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to have positions in those ports for guys that can operate those AI production lines. They're going to need guys that can use the joysticks, guys that are going to have to read the technical analysis of where things are transporting to. So there's still going to be jobs there for the port guys, but you're not going to be manhandling with a manual forklift anymore. Those days are over. And those dock workers that were on strike last year, it's coming. You can fight it all you want, but it's happening, and it's happening at an extreme rapid pace, a lot quicker than the dot-coms of the 90s, guys. This is going to be all automated. 3 to 5 years, the infrastructure of the United States is going to change drastically. So if you're not prepared for it, you're going to be left behind. So we have these trillion-dollar titans, these mega investments that are going to be reshaping the United States economy. While some companies are cutting costs, others are betting big on the United States of America. The so-called trillion-dollar titans, you've got companies like Apple, Micron, IBM, TSMC, Texas Instruments, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, Roche are investing more than $1.3 trillion into the United States. This is a huge, these companies are American companies, Apple, companies like that that are absolutely 100% on board with putting money into the United States. These long-term capital projects, factories, labs, research and development hubs, they're going to focus on AI, semiconductors, quantum computing, biotech. Apple's $600 billion AI server supplier program is the largest corporate investment in United States history. Apple, an American company investing right here in the United States. TSMC's Arizona fabs aim to end dependent on Taiwan-made chips. We're getting away from Taiwan, guys. We're moving into another type of infrastructure in the United States. Pharma giants are rebuilding domestic chains that are going to take this kind of pill stuff, this automated, mundane pill-making factories, move them to the 22nd century. I say 22nd because that's where we're moving to at a very high, rapid pace. How are these investments going to change the job market? Jobs are shifting from low skill, high manufacturing. The demand for engineers and machinists, data center technicians, and AI supervisors are going to be skyrocketing. Now, remember what I always say, I say it all the time that manufacturing, working with your hands are going to be the jobs of the future. Community colleges and trade schools are going to be expanding programs to meet this type of demand. So the HVAC guys are getting their AS degrees from the community colleges. That's changing. Now it's going to be high-tech AS degrees that you can get out of high school, get an AS degree in 2 years, 1 year, whatever that is, and get working directly in these manufacturing jobs. Wages are going to stabilize higher, but for only skilled positions. So if you're not joining up the other side, you're going to be left behind, like I said. Okay, why international companies are investing in the United States? The post-pandemic supply chain, incentives for CHIPS Act, Inflation Reduction Act, and AI infrastructure credits. The energy stability and land availability in the U.S. manufacturing makes it very attractive. We've got tons of land here in the United States, more than they have where they live. So by them investing in the United States and bringing this over here, they're going to see a huge, major investment into the United States from these companies. And this is what's going to happen. They're going to be building these plants in more rural areas because that's where all the land is. And what's going to happen is going to bring more urban development. You're going to get more houses built. You're going to get more Walmarts, more malls. Well, maybe not malls because you can get all on Amazon, but they're going to have more infrastructure. They're going to have more shops, more restaurants. They're going to help build some of these rural communities and put them on the map with the manufacturing plants that are getting put here, right here in the United States. And you can see right here in the graph that the high-tech jobs by sector from 2024 to 2025 are going to be going exponential. You've got right here, you've got logistics, UPS and FedEx and DHL. Layoffs are 53,000. The new tech, high-paying jobs are going to be 12,000. That's a net of 41,000. AI systems, self-driving delivery programs, and warehouse robotics are replacing human in sorting and routing centers. It's going to have more efficiency, but a steep decline in manual labor positions. But they're moving to that direction. Retail, we had layoffs of 37,000. New high-tech jobs are 9,000. That's a net of 28,000. So the retail automation, self-checkouts, automation fulfillment, predictive restocking has cashiers and associates roles. So all these cashiers you get now, they're going to be gone. Okay, the impact, traditional retail jobs are disappearing faster than new tech management positions are created. Get that? These are growing faster than new tech management positions are getting created. So in other words, they don't have enough people. Start getting trained. Start getting trained. Tech sector like Microsoft, Meta, and Google, they layoffs of 22,000. The new high-tech jobs, 30,000. A net positive of 8,000. So despite the headlines about tech layoffs, companies are rehiring in AI development, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and data infrastructure. Cybersecurity is going to be huge, guys. Huge. And you can get certification in some of these cybersecurity companies or programs for like in 8 months. I know University of Central Florida, a lot of these colleges are having these affiliate cybersecurity courses that you can get certified, and those jobs are well-paying jobs, high tech, and you can get it done in 8 months. That's amazing. So look into those type of programs and those types of things that you can get into on a lower of a high tech range and start making a nice job, nice wage for you and your family. Then you've got manufacturing, Intel, TSMC, Micron, and Tesla. Layoffs of 18,000. New high-tech jobs, 25,000. That's a net of 7,000. AI-assisted robotics and semiconductor fabs are creating higher skilled, better paid roles, massive U.S. investments, over $600 billion from global giants, are powering a manufacturing renaissance focused on chips, EV batteries, and automation. This is the wave of the future, and it's a big payoff for the United States. So you can argue about Trump's tariffs all you want. If you're not looking at the big picture of what the tariffs are doing for our country, bringing in more manufacturing to the United States, and you're looking at the microscopic of it, you're not seeing what this is going to do for the United States in the next couple of years. And it's going to happen at a very rapid pace. So what does this mean for the future of AI investing in companies? There are companies right now that wouldn't even existed 20 years ago that are at the forefront within the last few years of how AI has developed. Just check out this report by Fox News.
That's right. It's honestly a tale that technological evolution happens over time. You get these early winners from it, but it's a feature for it to change, not a bug. So here we've got near record concentration, nearly 40% made up of just 10 companies.
Right.
A lot of it related to the AI theme, but take a look. Actually, 6 of them were not on the top 10 years ago.
You see what I mean? It's happening right now. And AI is getting huge investments because they know exactly where this is going to lead the United States. And right now, this administration wants to be the leader in AI and technology. And it's going to go, we've been behind. And if you know about cryptos and all that, we've been behind several years to China and these other countries. Now it's time to play catch up, and we got a pedal to the metal going full steam ahead. But what is the human cost of this long-term vision? We're gonna have some short-term pain, guys. Layoffs, retraining, dislocations. We're gonna have people that don't have to move. They're gonna have to move from that little town. You're gonna have to move to other areas where all these companies are building their plants and their manufacturing areas where you're gonna have to move and understand that you're not gonna be in the town you grew up in. If you wanna stay employed and have a good paying job with nice wages and be able to get yourself to a level where you can provide for your families. The long-term game is reshored industries and better resilience. The real challenge right now is ensuring workers can transition to the new economy. The rise of AI divide those who adapt versus those who are going to be left behind. So the job growth potential for 2025 is extraordinary. And if we would have stayed on the track we were going right now, with simple manufacturing jobs, it was almost going to be the point where it's flat. You look at right now, the AI tech jobs, it's almost going up at a 70-degree angle, and it's going to keep moving up. And that's why it's important for people who are working right now in manufacturing jobs to understand that change is coming, and you need to get yourself reclassified, take some classes, learn a little bit more of a technical trade, because in the long run, you're going to make yourself invaluable. Because remember what I said, people that work with their hands are special individuals because not everybody can do it. They'd rather take a guy that worked with their hands for decades and reclassify them to learn a new trade, which are higher class, higher paying technical jobs, than just have to train somebody that doesn't have that work ethic. Because believe me, having individuals that have that skill set are extremely rare to come by. So if you're sitting there on an assembly line right now, worried about your job, or you just got laid off from one of these mega companies like Amazon or Walmart or UPS, understand, things are gonna be turning around and it's gonna happen very quickly. So prepare yourself, get yourself trained, and get ready for the wave of the future in AI, because it's coming, and it's coming really fast. Well, that's it for today. Join me next time for a little chit chat, some observations, and some good old fashioned conversation. Thanks.